Okay. Before you talk about anything, problems, issues, misunderstanding, without triggering the next person, you have to know yourself. You have to have studied yourself. You have to understand your spouse, know who they are, know their responses, how they respond, and then you have to make up your mind and choose the result you want to get from every situation. So, if you want peace, for example, or if you want an environment that embodies support and understanding, it's important to ask yourself, be clear that this is what I want. All right. So ask yourself questions like, what do I want right now? What do I want out of the situation? That will determine your response. That will determine how you treat your spouse. That will determine what measures also you will take to ensure that you address whatever situation is on ground. It will be futile if you do not know your spouse. What will happen is that you will just keep, making mistakes. You keep doing trial and error. So there's a huge role that understanding your spouse and their responses play in anything. There's how you can get anybody and everybody. Actually, one of the easiest ways is through love, right? And creating, nurturing a non-judgment environment where you can communicate better. Before you get to that point, trust me, there'll be a lot of trial and error in between, right?
Yeah.
Before you get there.
Yeah. So just to add, first of all, we always talk about defensiveness
Mm-hmm.
and shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
We can also use another word for shutdown as stonewalling.
Yeah.
These are barriers to effective communication. So
Mm-hmm.
you cannot communicate effectively
Yeah.
if you are always defensive
Mm-hmm.
and you're always stonewalling, looking for opportunities to shut down.
Mm.
And so for you to communicate effectively, for you
Yeah.
to talk about issues, first things first is to the antidote for defensiveness is to take responsibility. You want to first of all listen to what is being said
Yeah.
and take responsibility. When you take responsibility, then you can address the situation. Now, in cases where, now, a lot of times when people shut down is where emotions go out of control,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe one party just want to, probably they are not able to regulate their emotions, they want to
Regulate.
shut down. So in cases like that, you want to maybe take a pause
Yeah.
in whatever discussion you're having. You have to mutually agree, okay, right now we cannot have this discussion. I think we're not in the right frame of mind. We're not, the atmosphere, the tension is probably very high. So let us take some time to cool off and come back. Probably let's maybe come back in the next 1 hour, two
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
or maybe in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
But usually we advise that it shouldn't be beyond 24
24
hours.
hours.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
that you don't the situation is not left untreated
Unattended to, yeah.
and becomes complicated over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing I realized is that a lot of times when some partners, when some husbands or wives say that, let's talk about it later, peradventure, they summon the courage to address situations and say, oh, I acknowledge the fact that this place is tense or this conversation is tense right now. Can we talk about this later? A lot of times, anxiety takes over the situation and they never come back to address it. And this is
Yeah.
why sometimes your partner will not allow you to know, we're going to talk about it now, because that's how you said 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, you've done it over and again that it has is now out. Everything that is not addressed then doesn't work at all. So this is to say that conscious effort must be put in to ensure that you give a timeline. See, these things have to be addressed. So if you're saying, can we give ourselves 30 minutes or 1 hour? It's important, retreat and then come back and talk about it. If you say, oh, 24 hours, be sure that you that say, let me give you, can we give ourselves in 4 hours? You're the one that will call back and say, remember, we have a meeting at 5 p.m. tomorrow or today, you know. can you just hurry up what you're doing to ensure that we, you know, attend to that conversation we have? What that does is that it already cements and creates a conducive environment where you can embody calm. That way, you're giving your spouse a reassurance that, you know what, I got you. I might not be so comfortable having this conversation now, but I am willing to try. That's what you're saying. And so you're even helping them self regulate by doing that.